In the center of Los Angeles is a building, the story of which scares even the most skeptical people. At first glance, this is an ordinary hotel, a high facade, dozens of rooms, a spacious lobby. But behind the beautiful facade, a reputation is hidden, which made the hotel a real legend. The hotel was built in the 1920s, when Los Angeles developed rapidly. The owners conceived it as a luxurious place for tourists and business people. In the early years, the building was indeed a symbol of success. Expensive furniture, huge chandeliers, restaurants, and bars. But over time, the situation has changed. Great Depression hit the economy, and the hotel turned into a shelter for the poor, wanderers, and those who could not get a job in the New World. It was then that the first tragic cases began to occur. People disappeared, fell from the upper floors. There were strange incidents. Over time, the reputation of the hotel became so gloomy that he was called a place where they do not linger for a long time. Despite this, the hotel continued to work, and many visitors, not knowing about her past, stayed here. The most mysterious and terrible episode occurred in 2013, when a young girl named Alice decided to stay at Cecil. She came from Canada to travel to the United States. Relatives and friends described it as inquisitive, open, and a little naive. Alice led a blog where she shared her impressions of the trip. Her last records were full of joy and delight. She photographed the streets of Los Angeles, made notes about the people whom she met, and planned to continue the journey further. But a few days later, the connection with her broke off. The girl stopped in touch, did not answer calls and messages. Relatives began to alarm, and the police began the search. When the hotel was checked, it became clear that Alice disappeared without a trace. Her things remained in the room. Documents and telephone were in place. It seemed that she was just dissolved. The investigation was moving slowly. The police looked at the surveillance cameras, interviewed the staff and guests. But there were too few traces. Everything changed when an entry appeared from the elevator camera. In the video, which later became famous, it was clear how the girl enters the elevator and behaves strangely. She presses several buttons at once, peeps out, as if she is afraid of someone, and then begins to make sharp movements with her hands, as if talking with an invisible interlocutor. At some point she leaves, and the elevator doors are closed. This was the last record where she was seen alive. Weeks passed, but the search did not bring a result. Only after 19 days, the hotel residents complained to the strange taste and smell of water in the taps. The workers climbed to the roof, where large tanks of water were located. When they opened one of the tanks, they made a terrible find. Inside was the girl's body. This news shocked the whole city and the whole world. How did she find it on the roof, which was closed? How could you climb the tank and get inside if the cover was heavy? Why does the recording from the elevator show her strange behavior, as if someone or something haunted her? None of these questions received an unambiguous answer. The official investigation found that the girl had health problems, and it was they who could influence her behavior. But this version had too many inconsistencies. Firstly, the roof access was limited. To get there, it was necessary to go through closed doors and stairs, as well as overcome the alarm system. None of the systems worked. Secondly, the water tank was tall and heavy. It would be difficult for an adult man to open the lid and climb inside. And after the girl was inside, the lid was closed again. Thirdly, a strange video from the elevator. It was analyzed by dozens of specialists, and each time new questions remained. The film shows that at some point, the girl makes movements with her hands, as if communicating with someone. The elevator behaves unnaturally. The doors do not close for a long time, although they should have been according to the instructions. Many began to argue that something more was involved here, than a simple misfortune. Someone believed that the girl was a victim of a man who knew the hotel from the inside. Others are sure that we are talking about the mystical influence of the building itself, where tragic cases have occurred for decades. Over time, many legends grew around the story. Some researchers indicated that the hotel was built on the spot with heavy energy. Others found strange coincidences with films and even old books where similar events were described. Tourists still come to the hotel to look at the building and feel the atmosphere of the place. Many argue that even on the outside there is heaviness, and inside you can hear strange sounds like an echo of the past. Today, Cecil is officially closed to the guests, but his story lives. Documentary films, articles, internet forums. All this supports interest in one of the most mysterious secrets of Los Angeles. The story of Alice remains a reminder that there are things in the world that cannot be explained. Rational versions and scientific arguments are divided into facts that do not fit into logic. And everyone who hears about the Cecil Hotel involuntarily asks the question, was it a tragic combination of circumstances, or is the building really keeping a dark power that does not let those who crossed its threshold